finance or to buy with cash? Let's talk about it. What up? Let's talk about whether you should finance or pay cash. Let's see if I actually remember to put the disclaimer in text form this time. But yeah, every business is going to be different. It's going to vary for every company. I know for me, just my 2 cents worth on what I believe. You have so many big YouTubers and companies going out here talking about debt-free this, debt-free that. Well, I'm not even gonna lie. Some of them started, smaller where they can actually preach this. But you have some of them that have bigger channels where it's hard to actually sit here and say that they could just preach that when it's a lot easier for them to come up with the cash to be a debt-free company. What I mean by that is this: you can be debt free, you can pay cash for everything, all well and good. And for a while, our company was pretty debt free when it came to like trucks, equipment. But in order for me to do that and keep the company running, I was running, I wasn't ever debt free because, come think of it, my first stand-on mower, my first commercial trimmer, I got that the first year that I actually took the business over on my own. I started cutting lawns. Before then, I was debt free, but the issue I had was properties were getting bigger. We were getting more properties. I needed more equipment to be able to take care of the properties. I was getting weed whackers, like Husqvarna trimmers from Lowe's, which it gets the job done, but as the properties are getting bigger, it's harder to use that equipment, and sometimes it's hard to get to make it through a whole season. Using blowers from Lowe's, we were doing it. We were using them, man. The jobs were getting done. It would just take a heck of a lot longer, but they were getting done, man. That's all that mattered at the time. As your properties getting bigger, you started to need more production. So I financed my first stand-on mower, which is my Standard X, back in I think 2009. I got that mower, maybe 2010. Brand new, financed it. One of the best decisions I made because I was able to take on that much more business. I also financed a hedge trimmer. I didn't have a hedge trimmer at the time. A commercial trimmer and a commercial edger. All those were great purchases that made their money. And then some, maybe 100-fold, man. From that point forward, like, that was the only loan I kind of carried with the business. And then, like, I would get like used mowers, I would get used trailers, used trucks. And the downside to that was reliability. There are times, man, when like I needed repairs made on those trucks. I'm up, burning the midnight oil trying to get that truck ready to go. Or I don't know how many times I had breakdowns out in the field in these trucks that just weren't reliable. And then same thing with equipment. It got to the point where for me, I had to become more reliable, especially as I was stepping up into the commercial side of things. I'm doing commercial properties, I have to have reliable stuff. So when we signed on our biggest commercial property at the time, which we still do to this day, the shopping center, I knew I had to get reliable equipment, so we got a loan then to take care of that, get Bradley and other things we needed. And listening to other mentors, I started looking at it differently. Everybody always says get debt free, get debt free. Well, as you establish your business gets its own set of credit, not your personal credit, business credit. And you learn that you do need to use business credit. And with a lot of stuff that you're out here trying to buy in cash, sometimes it's better to hold on to that cash, build up that cash, put it in savings, do whatever else you need that cash for, instead of using it on that equipment where, say, you could get an emergency right after you done spend all that money on that equipment, and to the point where you need the cash that you spent on the equipment. If you're financing, you're building up that business credit, number one. Number two, you're basically floating a loan on something that you're going to get one way or another. Another way to look at it is make sure you have a decent interest rate. I know I deal with a company where the interest rate is pretty good. They done me well, man, when it comes to like taking care of finances and everything. So I would say it varies by company. If I was on a smaller scale, where I didn't do as much commercial work as we do, or even the higher end estates that we take care of, I probably would opt to keep the used equipment, the used trucks, trailers, all that. But for me, the only reason why I would honestly sit here and say I had to go to finance route is simply because I have so many commercial properties and high-end estates that expect you to be out week in and week out, and not for you not to not be out because my equipment's not running right, or the truck ain't running right. I only have one truck. I can't get out there, especially with snow. They don't tend to care. A lot of commercial people that you deal with are property managers. They really don't care. They're just a buffer in between you and their boss and the client that you're actually taking care of. The actual commercial property. They're a property management group. So a lot of times you're dealing with a point of contact who's just the buffer. They don't care what issues going on. They just want to know when their service is going to be taken care of. So I would say, for my 2 cents worth, if I was taking care of smaller scale stuff, like just residential things, I personally would go with getting a bunch of used equipment and all that. That's one less thing to worry about. But once you go a lot more commercial, you have to have reliable stuff, reliable equipment. You're almost as good as your equipment is, pretty much, when you get to a certain level. And I know for me, financing has been a tool I've had to utilize to stay consistent and stay reliable. Now, the goal after that should be paying that off early so you don't incur a lot of interest. But that's just my 2 cents worth. I know everybody does it differently, and I know all opinions are going to vary on this one. Boy, I know they're going to vary. I know a lot of people are going to come, oh, well, debt-free is the only way to do it. You got to be debt-free. Debt-free this, debt-free that. And I got you. If you're blessed to be able to do that, cool. God bless you. But I know there's a lot of us that have to go out and get the financing just to make sure that we can get to that next level of business. I know for me, had I not, it would have been hard for me to grow to where I'm at today. And I'm not some massive company, but I do a lot of commercial properties where having the reliable equipment has been a game changer for us. Alright, that's my 2 cents worth. If you got any input, please comment down below. What do you prefer? You prefer debt-free? You consider financing. You consider building up that business finance. You're going to have to make that purchase at some point through your business to establish that, which is great to have in your back pocket. Alright, y'all take it easy. Peace.